So hello, I'm here with Henoc today, one of our Funded Trader program. How are you today, Henoc?
All right, I'm doing good.
Good. So we are here because you have recently hit your first target on the $15,000 account. How was that?
Yeah, it was surreal, really. But it was also about time, I think. It was about time.
That's
I'll say
good.
that.
We're going to go into the details of that. Before, just introduce yourself. How did you start as a trader? What was your story?
My story. Okay, cool. So yeah, I was chilling by the crib uh around maybe late early 2019 or so like that. And that's when I stumbled upon trading, I guess. And ultimately I just knew that, there was to more to do in I guess life, you know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
yeah, and I was like, all right, cool. So let me just go ahead and see about this. Obviously, I'm always looking for opportunities and whatever else. So when one rears his head, you gotta go ahead and take it. So I stumbled upon Forex. It was actually binary options
Mm.
first, and that was kind of where I got into the whole trading space. And yeah, my little search, I delved in deeper, and ultimately I found Forex through a couple of YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know a candlestick from an actual candle, but I just decided to do the research, and yeah, to be honest, now I'm here. Kind of what
So you
happened.
started in 2019, first with the binary option, then you got yourself into standard Forex trading. And are you a full-time trader now, or is it something that you do on a side?
This is something I do on the side. I'm also a personal trainer. I do value my fitness, and I'm also a boxer as well. But over the course of a couple of years, I do want to make that transition to full-time trainer.
Okay, so I guess that discipline is something you take very serious throughout the different aspects of your life. That's good.
Absolutely,
Do you think that this helped you in trading?
absolutely, yeah. Um, Trading is ultimately a game of probabilities, and how you put those probabilities in your favor is by being consistent, doing maybe the same thing over and over again, a set fire way, one sure way. Obviously, there's different ways, but you need to go ahead and practice those. Practice consistency. These are all buzzwords, yeah, sure, but it definitely does. They are the qualities that are required of you if you're going to be a trader worth his salt. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it definitely did help me.
Okay, that's fine. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the strategy that you use? How do you trade?
So my strategy is very simple. I basically use support and resistance,
Mhm.
and Fibonacci as well. So I'll go ahead and make my buys from. I first identify the way the market's going. Let's say on a weekly, then just go down to the daily, just to get the general flow of the market, which way
Mhm.
it's going, and then identify my key points, my psychological points, the highs and lows, and then I was scared maybe down to the 8 hour or the 4 hour, just to go ahead and it's just to magnify what I'm looking at, to be honest.
Sure.
And yeah, from there, identify my psychological levels. Um, the round numbers that everybody it's in the back of everybody's head,
Yeah.
but they don't say it. I mean, and yeah, and then I'll go ahead and scale down to the 1 hour, see if whatever I'm looking for can set up on that. Excuse me, on that time frame, and then get my entries maybe on a 15 minute.
Hmm.
Um, I will scroll down onto the 5 minute just to go ahead and really see um, a more detailed and precise version of what it is I'm looking at on the higher time frame.
Okay. Would you classify yourself more as an intraday trader or swing trader on average, at least? How long do you hold your positions for?
I would hold my trades for a couple of hours. Let's say more intraday. I'll swing it if I need to, but less than I'd say a day max,
Hmm.
just around time. Do you know what I mean? From let's say from London session one day to New York session. By the end of New
Okay.
York session, one day, something like that.
Okay, I see. So market structure, Fibonacci with a top-down analysis, basically. And since you mentioned that, how do you use your Fibonacci? Like you trade the extensions or the retracements?
I'll go ahead and find the retracements where it's going off of, and then I'll use the extension to make my target points
I
of
see.
where I'm going to go to. Sometimes it'll be, so my golden zone would be around, if price retraces back up to 0.5 or 0.5 or 0.61.8, I'll go ahead and draw a box around there, because price always loves to, that's what I've noticed. Price always loves to react off of those levels. So let's say if I see a indecision candle, a momentum candle, a rejection candle, like a wick, or a Maribosi candle, something like that, around that time, that gives me more confidence. That gives me a confluence. And that's where I'm able to take my trade. And then I'll use the Fibonacci extension to place my target zones, like I said.
And trade the continuation of the trend. That's good. That's actually very interesting. But it's good that you also mentioned that you always wait also for a price action confirmation, basically. That's very interesting as a strategy. It's something similar to what we also teach to our students, to be completely honest with you. Yeah. And tell me something. Since you started with you were saying with binary option, basically, how has your strategy changed? How did you build that up to get to that level, basically, in the last couple of years?
Just research. I'll be so honest. I did not do binary options that deep. I don't even think I scratched the surface with binary options. It was just my introduction to trading. Turns out it was more like on a gambling phase. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't like it. So what Forex allowed me to do was get the consistency and the discipline down pat and formulate my own strategy. And so, yeah, that's really all that happened. But you're asking, what was the question? How has your strategy evolved over the years? Yeah, sure. So, especially with my work as well, I was more of a scalper because I would have less time to actually look at the markets. So I would go ahead and maybe start getting my entries on the 1 minute or the 3 minute, some weird time frames like that. And I found that it would give me pause or anxiety just looking at the markets for such a long amount of time. And just, and it would start to play on my heartstrings, and then I'll put emotion into it. And now, obviously, we know that's a big no-no in this game. So you can't put your emotion into it. You got to take emotion out of it. So boom. Yeah, when I started, so that's when I decided, okay, cool. How should I take emotion out of this? Let me start to be a little bit more patient. Like I said, I would wait. Now I've developed my strategy to the point where it involves some patience, having to wait for that retracement, because you don't always get it. Yeah. Price can sometimes just come down and that's you, Mr. Entry. But there's always another one. Do you know what I mean? So you always have to wait. And in this one, it allows me to go ahead and be patient and wait for that higher quality setup. And it was just a trial and error, just figuring out what worked and how many times that edge would play out. And yeah, that's what allowed me to be.
That's good. That's interesting. What about your risk management? How do you control the risk?
How do I control the risk? So what I do is I have I grade my setups. Okay. So what I do is I grade my setups. So how I would, let's say I had like something that I thought was like an A+ setup or an A setup, I would risk a little bit more, let's say 2% instead of the usual 1%. If I don't think that the trade is going to play out, if I don't think that the trade is an A quality setup, I'm either not taking it or I'm risking a 1%. My goal throughout would probably be to eliminate a B+ setups, C+ setups altogether. Only trade what would be in my trading plan, which is what I do. But sometimes,
yeah.
I know. So yeah, just being more disciplined. And you see, this is going to be like a recurring theme, that word, because it's a buzzword, you know what I mean? But yeah, so just trade the usual 1%. risk 1% in my that would be like the maximum on like anything lower than an A setup. If I have an A plus setup, then I'm open to risking a little more. But
more.
maximum would be 2%.
And tell me something, is this the first funded account that you have, or have you been working with other companies perhaps, or did you had like other funded account in the past?
Yeah, so I've been working with other companies now. So even from this payout, I have started to take that and just grow my capital more on the proprietary stage and funding stage.
That's
so
good.
yeah,
that's good. When you started on your personal funds, I believe.
Absolutely.
How was
what
that?
what a roller coaster. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I would blow account after account, and it would be little money too. The amount of money that I've put in it wouldn't be much. The amount of money that I put in it would probably be, I've probably made that back in funding and in payouts. So it's not about, but back then when you don't really have a lot and you're just starting out, you can even be mad about losing $20 or 20 pounds. You know what I mean? It's just like, and and you're training with so much emotion and it's
risk.
really just, pardon?
And risk, because when you're managing a smaller account, you 100% will need to over risk.
Absolutely. If you're wanting to see any profit that's of some size, of some impact, do you know what I mean? Making 10% on a 50-pound account, congratulations, you've made five pounds. Now that's not much, you know what I'm saying? Let's be honest, it's not much. But so that's when I realized it's a mindset shift. Don't view this as a monetary gain just yet. If you have such little capital to trade with, use this to build the discipline, build the mindset, build the strategy. And of course, risk management as well. You know what I mean? Risking 1 to 2% and making, 1 to 3 more than your risk. Anyway, make more than your risk. And then keep on doing that. And then when you get to 10%, if you can get 10%, you can get 10% on any account. You now have that skill set, and that skill set stays with you. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, correct. 100%. Tell me something. Is there any specific currency pair that you like to trade? Do you have your favorites? Do you have a short list, or you trade all currency pairs?
No, not all of them. No. I do like GU and I like EU. GU is more of a major, so it doesn't move as volatile, I wouldn't say, unless there's some news. And that is one of the reasons why I love it so much, because it allowed me to trade well. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't have to worry about my stop loss being hit because it was too tight or anything like that. And even now, because of that, I've decided I'm more comfortable with giving my trade a little bit more room to breathe, so to speak. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely the majors, GU, EU, GJ. I like the pound
pairs.
Absolutely. GJ and maybe GA. That's about it.
Pound Australian dollar. That one is a little bit more volatile.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm starting to get into that swing now because I'm a little bit more confident. I won't lie to you, Federica. I won't lie to you.
No, don't do that, because you know that is going to show in your account.
Absolutely.
Okay, so how would you say your journey with us has been so far?
For me, it's been slow, and this is why I'll say that, because people like to give that word a negative connotation, but it was really exactly what I needed. It's like when I had this, when I bought this originally, I didn't even think about it. It was 15,000, and I was reading all of it. 15,000. That's what you start off with, and you're making 10% of that, of course, and you won't even get paid the 15. You get paid a certain profit split, and a certain profit split is like half. I was like, that's slow money, but that's exactly what I needed, and I didn't realize that my own ego and pride was stopping me from realizing that that's exactly what I should have gotten. Because, and I'll be real with you, I was still in the process of figuring out my strategy. I knew how to trade, but I was still in the process of working out the kinks of my strategy. So, boom, But I was like, okay, I'm a trader, man. I don't need this. Whatever, cool, blah, blah, blah. So I decided to go out. As I still had the account, 15,000, I would go ahead and let's say I would get paid for my job. Boom. I would put some of that money, of course, into buying there's like a renewal fee. So I would go ahead and pay that. And then I would go ahead and start buying challenges, stupidly, foolishly, challenges for an extravagant amount too, like the 200,000s, the 70Ks, and guess what? I would blow them all. I'd blow them all. No surprise there, you know? And because I was so focused on getting that payout, and I was treating it more like a casino, you know what I mean? It felt more gambly, so to speak. That's not a real word, but so I would blow them. But then there was always this one. There was always Audacity Capital. It was always there.
We're always here. That's what we do. We're always here.
Always there. And I was neglecting it so. And then it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. Even if it kills me, I'm going to figure this out or I'm going to die trying. And I stuck to it. And you know the thing about a fixed lot size, because that's what y'all do, especially in the Fund and Trade program. There's a fixed lot size that you can use. And this is why I like it so much, because it actually, you just said it before, you guys kind of teach your students to trade more intraday swing type. That's what it is. Because if you have a fixed lot size, you are working off pips. You're not working off of money, essentially. You're working off pips. So let's say you have you are only allowed to use up to one lot size, right? That's not a lot. Boom. You're risking you're risking $10 right there, right? So to make, let's say you have a 30,000 pound account, but you can only use one lot size. So to make 1%, you're needing 30 pips. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
To make the 10%, basically, you will need to make 300 pips.
300 pips.
Which is something that I don't want to say it's easy to do, because nothing is easy, especially when you deal with the financial market, especially nowadays. But it's something that for for professional traders, which is basically the target this program is designed to. Exactly. It's something that is doable, specifically because there is no time constraints, there is no pressure on your side, nothing like that. Right. So what we want to do, giving you this set risk parameters rule, is in a way trying to ease your mind. Like you think about your setup, you think about your trading, we're going to take care of the rest. Like you don't have to think about that too much. We'll do the job. Like you just trade. Just relax and trade. And results will come. And I can assure you that even if the first stage, the first step was a little bit slow for you, you needed to adjust, because of course it's a completely different approach to a challenge model. It's completely different. But I can assure you that now that you found your way, is going to speed up the process 100%.
I believe that. It's a great model. It's a great model. And that's exactly what it is. Because there's no time, restraints. You guys were always there, but I was neglecting, you know what I mean? And I was looking at other stuff. You guys were always on the back burner because there is no time restraint, and that's beautiful. And it's very poetic, I think. So that's when I came. So when I came back, it allowed me. It gave me the qualities that I needed to become a better trader. The patience. There's always another trade. There's always, do you know what I mean? All these things here.
There's always another opportunity in the market. 100%.
Yeah. So I really do want to go off just right now, I'm gonna say thank you because of that, because of your model. I have evolved, and I've evolved my game, I've evolved my strategy, and I think I've become a better person. I won't try to be so crass or anything, but I feel like my mindset, my psyche has evolved to that of a stage I never thought possible. So I want to thank you for that.
That's good. But actually, you're right, because in a way, the way you trade, it is a reflection of who you are as a person.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You can't really lie about that on the market.
No,
if you are impatient, if you are arrogant, the market is going to punish you, like sooner rather than later. We're going to get there. So It's true. So I do believe that that's why we were talking in the beginning of this call about like discipline. If you learn how to discipline yourself, definitely is going to have like a positive impact in your trading style and in your trading like performances. Definitely is going to happen. Tell me something. If you want to give like a suggestion to someone that is just now approaching the market, just now starting to learn how to trade, or maybe someone that is now approaching to the prop trading industry, what would you say? What would be your recommendation to them?
My recommendation would be try Audacity Capital, absolutely. But
Thank you.
definitely just like for some advice, if that's what you're saying, just stay the course. You can't cheat this.
Yeah.
You cannot cheat this. Trying to go for those challenges is putting your money down the drain if you don't have a set strategy, if you don't know what you're doing, if you are a little bit undisciplined, if you are a little bit figure out all of these things beforehand. And then, because if you try to take this to the markets will in fact punish you for it. Stay the course. You cannot rush this stuff. In order to get to a place where you've never been before, you need to do some things that you've never done before. I'm sure there's always room for improvement.
Of
all
course.
the time. I'm still improving, so yeah, that would be it. Definitely just stay the course.
That's good. Thank you very much, Henoc. So I want to do another interview with you on the next target then. All right?
Absolutely.
Deal?
Absolutely. Deal. Absolutely.